when God bends the rules. You know, it's an interesting concept to think about God bending the rules. I think in society we kind of appreciate rules, yes? They're good things to have around. They keep people in line. They do what they're supposed to do, right? Rules are supposed to be a good thing. So thinking about when God bends the rules can already be a little intimidating, a little unsettling. But here in this story we have from Ruth, over and over and over again, God bends the rules. First of all, the book of the Bible itself is named after Ruth. Ruth, a woman, a Moabite woman. She's not even a member of the chosen people. She's not an Israelite. Why should God pick her? It's an interesting story. And it really starts with Ruth's mother-in-law, Naomi, and her husband, Elimelech. Now, Elimelech, his name, the first part of his name, is the Hebrew pronoun for God, El. And Melech means king. Elimelech's name means God is king. They're good people, God-fearing people, people that have come down in the line of chosen people of God. And here they are in Bethlehem of Judea. And there's a famine in the land. And they're hungry. What do you do when you're hungry? Go to a place where there's food, right? So they pack up their whole world and they travel to Moab, a foreign country, in search of a good life with food for their table. And they find it. They live in the land. They have 2 sons, and their sons marry 2 women, Moabite women. It's against the rules, folks. You don't marry outside of the house of Israel, don't you know? But there they are, in Moab. And then the worst imaginable happens. Naomi's world crumbles around her. Her husband dies. Her son dies. Her other son dies. I cannot imagine what that would be like. To have traveled that far to start a whole new life for yourself and then lose everything. I cannot imagine the grief and the loss and the hurt. And there Naomi is. And in the midst of that pain and that loss and that hurt, she makes a decision. It's no longer safe or wise for me to stay here by myself. In that day and age, a woman's security and livelihood was through the man in her household, whether it be her husband or her son. That was how you had security. That was how you were sure there was food on your table. And she no longer had any of that. What's a girl to do? She packed her things and headed back home to Bethlehem of Judea. And she told her daughters-in-law to stay behind, because that's what was best for them. They were Moabite women. They had no hope of any future if they came with her. What was best for them was to follow the rules and to stay in Moab, go back to their parents' house and try again. Start fresh. You don't need this baggage. This is my stuff. You go home where you have a shot. You have a chance at a new life. Find a new husband. May God's blessings be upon you and whatever relationship you find. And Orpah says, no, I stay with you. And Ruth says, no, I stay with you. And Naomi says, but really, this is going to get dangerous. And Orpah says, okay, I'll go home. I'll follow the rules. I'll do what's right. But somehow, this book isn't named after her. It's named after Ruth, who clung to Naomi, who held on to her in the midst of her grief, in the midst of her pain, and said, I'm going with you. Against all odds, against everything I should do, against all of the rules, I will go with you to Bethlehem of Judea. She willingly chose to be what some would call an illegal immigrant, to leave everything she had known behind and follow Naomi to Bethlehem of Judea. Now, I don't know if you've heard a little bell tinkling in your head every time I've said Bethlehem of Judea, if it's familiar to you. But it's kind of an important place in the story of the Bible, because someone else was born in Bethlehem of Judea, someone who comes further down Ruth's lineage. Yes, Ruth. The refugee, the woman who doesn't belong, the woman who doesn't really follow the rules. She indeed makes history. You see, that person that was eventually born in Bethlehem of Judea's name was Jesus. Who also liked to bend the rules, who also didn't always do what he was supposed to do. And I think they shared a similar reason for bending the rules: love. There's a word in the Old Testament that's used for love: chesed. Chesed. You can say it with me. Chesed. If you've ever studied German before, it'll help you get the right at the beginning. Chesed. It is God's unending, undeserved, covenant love. God's love that comes and shows up in our lives, whether we like it or not, whether it follows the rules or not, whether we're ready for it or not. God's love comes to us and sticks with us like Ruth stuck to Naomi. That love, I believe, is the reason that God bends the rules. Because God's love is for all people, regardless of who they are or where they come from, what side of the tracks they were born on, who decides that they're worthy or unworthy. None of that matters. God's love is for all people. That's what we stood around this font and proclaimed in the life of Christine today, right? Tell us about it. Yeah. God's love is for us. God's love is for Naomi. Even at her breaking point. Even when she was in the deepest grief and sorrow and pain. I love Naomi. I really feel like this book should have been titled The Book of Naomi, but I feel like she gets short shrift. Naomi, even in that dark place, is so real and honest. I really feel like people can connect more probably with Naomi than they can with Ruth. Grief I get. Grief I've felt, you know? I'm not sure I can always get to that chuck everything kind of love that Ruth has, but I get where Naomi is. I get where she is. And in the midst of that, she is able to be honest, speak truth to power, and just say how she's feeling. Come what may. I love that. She's able to name her emptiness, her bitterness, her abandonment, and be true and real to how she is feeling. She is no pathetic figure. It's not woe is me. She just has the courage to say, this is really awful. My husband has died, my sons have died. Now what? What do you expect me to do? Rally? Make it all better? Pontificate on the silver lining of life? No. And how dare you ask that of me? She is real. I get Naomi. But even in the midst of that grief and pain, God shows up through the voice of Ruth and says, do not push me away. Do not deem yourself unworthy. Do not think that I don't want to be with you. Wherever you go, I will go, God says. Wherever you lodge, I will lodge. You are mine. Who you are, who you have been, who you will become. I love you with my whole heart, says God. I love you forever and always. That's what God says to Naomi. That's what God says to those of us who may feel a bit like Naomi today. That's what God says to this beautiful child of God. God's love is for and with us, no matter what. Maybe today, even if it's only for a moment, maybe all of us Naomis out there might hear and feel and know a little bit of God's chesed, God's blessing, God's covenant love for and with us, always and forever, no matter what. Amen.